Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Of course, everybody loves art, and we're going to tell you how you can get some great pieces on the cheap.
Yeah, this is one of the best art shows in the city by far and away. I was there last year and it blew my socks off. I couldn't believe some of the incredible stuff. Graeme Berglund joining us, founder and creative director for The Cheaper Show, now in its 10th year.
Hello.
It's amazing.
How are you, Graeme?
Doing really well. Yourself?
So tell us about this concept of The Cheaper Show. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It started about 10 years ago, November 2001 to be exact, and it was just myself and two friends that were really frustrated that we couldn't get any attention from some of the local galleries. So we designed a format that was incredibly accessible and really affordable to anybody that might want to walk through the door. And it was originally called Cheaper Than a One-Night Stand. It was just simply a one-night art show where we had about 16 of our friends that all put in a couple of pieces, and everything was sold for $75 a piece.
Yeah.
And over the last 10 years, it's now grown into the largest art show, largest one-night art show in Western Canada.
Well, you've really touched on something, and we were talking about it just before, just that idea of accessibility for a lot of people in art have become kind of mutually exclusive. Like, you know, people actually walking around and seeing things that they love that are affordable and that they can have access to.
It's kind of a rare occurrence. I mean, your average person isn't necessarily comforted by the experience of walking into a gallery on, say, South Granville. It's just it's a little bit of a, you know,
it's intimidating for a lot of
colder
people.
environment.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to make it a lot more fun. I mean, when you walk into our show, you kind of walk in with like 12 of your best friends, go up to the bar and grab a pint of beer. There's some music playing. Everyone's having a great time. And then you kind of start the journey around the room and starting to check out all of this work. And because everything is $200, almost anyone from any financial background can afford to pick up possibly their first piece of work.
So it's $200. How many artists?
We have 200 international artists. 75% of them are local, so we really are existing to help support the Vancouver art community.
Yeah.
The remainder are 25% that are both national and international. And it's really the most diverse mix of work you can imagine.
And you guys have done a great job balancing established artists that just want to be part of this, and also emerging artists as well, and younger guys that are in the same situation you were 10 years ago.
It's something that we never really expected. When we first started this, within a few shows, we had like a lineup around the block, and this was all like completely unknown emerging artists. And then I guess by about 2004, 2005, we started getting contacted by artists that had, you know, that were well known in the city and had gallery representation, and they just really liked the energy and the, you know, kind of activated environment that we had created, and they wanted to lend their name to our event to help raise the esteem of what was taking place.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some of the great art that's around us here. Let's start with
the Krylon.
The Krylon, the big spray can.
This is Becky Gould. And she's like this, I met her last year actually. She's a mom from Burnaby. She's got a couple of kids, and she makes this totally insane work out of, you know, vinyl and felt and googly eyes. And they're kind of, you know, these, she turns inanimate objects into cute little creatures.
What a conversations piece that one is, too.
And I'll tell you, it just, I mean, the thing that blew me away, and it must continue to really open your eyes, is there is no limit to creativity. There is no limit to artistic inspiration people can bring to the table.
We have this one artist in the show. I'm really excited about this, as strange as it is. It's an artist named Johnny Yee, and he's actually making a table and 2 chairs out of bread.
Out of bread.
Yeah, so you can buy this for $200.
Have a seat. Okay, the one behind you I'm absolutely in love with. Tell us about this one.
This is a really, another amazing story. This is an artist from Toronto named Thrush Holmes, and Thrush has been selling work to, you know, like A-list celebrities like Elton John, and for like, you know, $80,000 to $120,000 a piece. He's about like 29, 30 years old.
Yeah. So this is going to sell for $200.
This is going to sell for $200.
Thus the lineups around the block.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, there isn't a single piece in the show that is worth $200. All of them, all of the artists that are taking part have really made a sacrifice to just like represent community and you know, take one night off to showcase and have a great fellowship of artists in the city.
Nice. And who's this?
This is Heidi Johansson, and Heidi makes some really bizarre sculptures out of very lightweight wood. She's actually from Norway. She's represented by a massive gallery down in Los Angeles called the Richard Heller Gallery. and she's going to have several of these sculptures in the show.
So cool.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what you also realize, that art is like wine. I mean, when you walk into that room and you see everything in there, and the things that draw you in, the things that appeal to you, they're really instinctual. Like, you really feel that draw when you see a piece that you love.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think part of what we do is, because we have 400 pieces of art, and it's all highly curated, you know, there's really high production values to the show. Everything is beautifully lit and beautifully presented. Everybody that walks through the door is going to find at least a few things that they're going to want to take home with them.
But in that casual environment where you are having a drink and you can talk about the art and actually learn about the artist, instead of being really intimidated going into a gallery that's, you know, you wouldn't usually go into. Tell us about this one.
Well, this is you know,
Mikey's favorite.
Beautiful. I don't know if it's a memorial piece. I mean, Randy Macho Man Savage recently passed away. This is an artist from South Korea named David Cho. He was a recent BFA graduate from Emily Carr. We have a lot of Emily Carr students. We really kind of go out our way to support a lot of kids right out of school. And he has got a series of wrestlers in the show. He's got the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan as well.
Wow.
I love it. Yeah. What is the curating? I mean, we're going to look at some other images that we're not maybe going to talk about specifically, but what is the curating process like for you and your team? Obviously, there's a lot of people involved.
Well, it actually
in this,
all comes down to one woman that does this. Her name's Jessica DeLorme. She's a graduate of the University of Alberta, and it's really entirely her vision. I mean, we have a very particular mandate with the show as far as like diversity and quality, but this year, when we put the word out in January, we received over 1,300 submissions from every corner of the planet. It's just astounding. We never thought it would turn into something like this, but...
And this is really just something you started with you and your friends to talk about art. That's incredible.
It's just unbelievable. So Jessica has this arduous task of sitting down, and I mean, she really combs through everything. She looks at the images that the artist supplies. She looks at their history, what their artist statement is, and everything is considered, and then she has to go through all of this and whittle that down to 200 artists. So at this point in time, we're in the position of actually turning down hundreds of equally deserving artists, but we really try to build a show that is you know, as democratic as possible, that will appeal to, you know, anyone from any background.
Thoughts of doing it more than once a year?
No.
No.
I mean,
I wish you would be definitive about this.
It sounds like there's the demand for it, though.
There's a massive demand, but I mean, I'm a working artist, and I also understand what the value of art means. And you know, like my work, I wouldn't be able to survive as an artist if I was just selling my work for $200 a piece. So we really only like to do this. This is just kind of like celebrating an eclipse. If we were to do this all the time, then we'd be in the process of really devaluing art. And you know, we really want to honor what people have done. So this is just a once-a-year event.
One night only.
To give people that inspiration and give them that first taste of owning something that they discovered that they really, you know, love and has resonance for them, that creates a lifelong collector, right? That's
absolutely. I mean, we've had people that started attending the show when they were 24 years old. Every year they've kind of, you know, bought a few more pieces. And now, you know, now they're 34 years old and they've got a little bit more disposable income. And so there's this great like trickle up effect where they're actually going to some of those galleries now. Now it's like more of a comfortable space for them.
And you can say you bought that artist when.
Following the artist as well, which is just such a pleasure when you're collecting, seeing the progression of an artist through different phases in their life.
Yeah, one of the most powerful things that takes place at this event is that the patron is actually, they get in touch with these artists for the first time, and they kind of realize how accessible these people, you know, they live like 3 blocks away from them. They do some studio visits and they buy work for full price. So there's a really amazing fallout that happens after the show.
Beautiful.
Well, Graeme,
well earned,
congrats on the
done.
success. And as we mentioned, I can't believe the 10th annual Cheaper Show is taking place this Saturday, June 25th. It is one night only. It's happening at 188 Kingsway. For more information, you can check out the Cheaper Show's website. And you know what? It's first come, first served.
Yeah, go in a jolly mood and be prepared to line up and wait a little bit. It will be worth it when you get inside. It's an absolutely stunning experience all the way through.
Thanks
again.
Man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.